Hello, and welcome back to Infinite Roleplay, MAPPA number 14. It looks like I'm alone right now for this MAPPA. Hopefully there'll be a few individuals joining me as the program continues. But until such, I'll be doing me. The goal of this MAPPA pretty much is to map a map. That's what MAPPA is about. Going to do Nate from WASD20 decided he wanted to do a contest. The hangout is pretty much to map the map for that contest and just discuss, the ideas and the mapping in general, what's going on. So instead of just me rambling and you having to look at my wonderful hair, thank you, I'm going to screen share what I've got so far. I was a little bit excited, so I got some work done beforehand. And this is the work I have done already for the contest map. Boom, the map. Basically, I just threw down a mountain range and have some placeholders in there for the forests. All the colorations and the textures are all hand painted. Is this working? Or is this just going incredibly slow? I've got my Star Wars stuff open. Let me close that. Let me close everything. Because later tonight, I'm going to be running some Star Wars Age of the Empire. So, forest. Yeah, these are the placeholder forests. Throw in a folder for forests. Layer. Forest lines. Because what I'm going to do is just physically draw little loopy-loops for the forests. Make those fairly transparent. It comes time to use the brush. So I see we got 2 viewers. What's up to whomever you are? If you have any questions or comments or viewer participation in which you would like to engage, feel free. There's the hills, mountains, and whatever, mountain lines. This height. So let's give that its own folder. There. I don't need to spell it right. Throw some opacity on that because I want some of these forests to butt up against the mountains, like be right at the base of the mountains. So I want to see where that base is a little bit more clearly. So I can start drawing little loop-de-loops. So if I'm not going to have anyone asking me questions or coming into the hangout with me, I'm going to do something that is quite horrifying, and that's going to be me singing. If anyone has ever seen a MAPPA before, me singing is a bad thing. So, if it's really what you'd like to suffer through, I'll grant you that request of suffering through my song. My song will be The Lonely Man, because I am the lonely man who is so lonely. But I wonder what, like, the land formation, I did some editing on its general shape because it sort of bugged me, like the way it looked. It's just bugged to me. Like, I don't know, the huge bay that it has. It's like the land is trying to open up and swallow you whole. I'm going to munch on you. I am not a continent. I am a giant earth elemental swimming in the oceans, waiting for unsuspecting fools to discover the landmass. And then I will consume their ships whole and call it a day. So this is kind of sort of like normal forest. Like, you see people doing forest like little loop-de-loops and Charlie Brownie things. This is pretty much the same, except one thing that I like to do personally is to add what seems to be elevations, which is just doing the same large blob, but continuing it from like here so that this section lays on top of the sections below and gives kind of an illusion of just a higher canopy in those areas. So then I can come, say, here, and this one is higher than the one beneath it, but lower than that one on top of it. Just to give some tiered effect. Doing all those loops is killer on the wrist, especially when you're doing them fast, because you're not patient, like I am. Very impatient. I like to get things done as quickly as possible. This area, I think maybe here, should be a bit heavier. Maybe even this section has a little bit of a overgrown. Like the older trees are closer to the base of the mountain. They have first dibs on all the water streaming down. Like maybe since this is here, like this edge is just higher. The canopy of these trees right over here just reaches far above all of the others. Even the sections that are closer to the mountain don't reach quite as high. Why? I don't know. But you'd think, like, in areas like that, there'd be less natural sunlight coming through, because there's trees bleeding light. It's just bleeding through those trees because it's so heavy and hectic. The branches and all the growth just blocking through everything. So when you're traveling through that area, like this whole entire line of trees, it's just heavier. It's just like you can't see through it. It's the middle of the day, but you need to light your torches. Because not enough sunlight can get through. It's twilight forest of eternal darkness. Not because it's magical. It's just the trees are too old, too overgrown, too tall. They greedily drink up the light. They are ravenous for the light. The sun incapable of satiating their hunger. And I'm just talking about plants. That's terrible. Be like Audrey 2 from Little Shop of Horrors. Feed me. Feed me, Seymour. Feed me. But let me just get done with this piece that I'm working on, and I'll sort of expedite some of what's going on just so you can see the general goal of these trees. I mean, I've done a time lapse of this before. I believe so. The general idea should be on my channel square already, but we'll do it again. Feed Missy more. So let's no, that needs to be contiguous. All right, everything's selected, right? I mean, I could color it in by hand, but I won't. Select, modify, contract the 2 pixels, and let's get a good darker green, hopefully to differentiate. Let's be a different layer. Fine. What is the code? That's the beginnings of what I want my forests to look like. I've just got to add the smaller loop-de-de-loops. An endless journey of loop-de-de-loops. Got 9 pixels. So if you're doing this like at home with a pen and pencil, if you're blessed enough to have some micron pens, it's like using, say, like a number 1 to do the first section, and then you just shrink it so you can get the smaller loops inside with like a 0.5 or a 0.1. You know, just as a for instance, if you were using microns. So, you know, this part right here, and do short loops because they sort of feel like leaves. You know, they feel like foliage. They give that sense of the silhouette sort of being a little bit more broken up. Maybe even having varying heights. Turn that off. Sure. Ah! Maybe I shouldn't turn that off. But this is what you're going to see me doing for a little bit. As long as I am by myself. All by myself. Don't want to be all by myself anymore. It's the new country hit single, All by Myself, by Billy Bojangles. Because why in the hell not? It's too much. Come on. There we go. Pressure sensitivity on my Wacom is bugging out. Speaking about Wacom and bugging out, Barker, you bastard. You've got that massive, wonderful, sexy Wacom, and I am so jealous. What is that, the 21? That you got there? Mr. Barker. Be a better way calm owner. That's what I want to be. Anyway, ignoring my insanity for a moment, getting back to the map. Little mini loopies. Try not to get them in like a straight line or even that so much. Like something like this works better, like a zigzag, in my opinion, because it just, again, it breaks up. Like that line looks like the leaves are coming from everywhere. Because that's what leaves do. Leaves come from everywhere. They're like all over the place. They don't care about your notion of patterns or, what have you. Leaves are like, we need some light. Other leaves get in the way, and they're like, come on, Bob, why'd you get in the way of the light? I'm going to come from this angle. Jimmy, it's not my fault. It's Bob's fault. He got in my way of my light. I got to get light however I can. But what about me? Says the other leaves. And then they have to find ways of getting additional light themselves. So they come from everywhere. I feel like I'm turning into Bob Ross now. Giving personalities to just the trees, the happy little trees. Look as their leaves dance across the surface. They sway and they move. They come from every direction as they have fun, bouncing off of each other. The light dancing across them. The endless party of friends and family. Leaves can never be too close, you see. They enjoy the company of their friends and family. They remain close throughout the entirety of their lives. So I'm like a little fantasy mapping Bob Ross now, baby. I need some happy little critters, but this being a sort of overland map, you're not going to see any critters. I don't like that. That's a little too... Talking about critters in them. Messing up my leaf silhouettes. I gotta talk about the family of leaves and how they get along, and not every leaf gets along all the time. In any family, there's disagreements. Oh my gosh. Sometimes one leaf gets too much sunlight and the other leaves are just upset. They're a bit hungry because all the light goes to just the same leaves all the time. And they're always asking their mother tree, Mommy, can we get some more light too? And the mother tree sways to and fro, trying to grow in a way where the most of her children can get as much light as possible. Because, you can't always favor one child over the other, and Mama Tree knows this. And I continue on being my own fantasy mapping Bob Ross, going into whatever worlds in my own head, exploring absolutely no notions other than Mother Tree, baby leaves. That would be weird though, right? Like, imagine if that's how Druids saw the world. So you describe everything. For everyone else, oh, the forest is oppressive. Guards against the light. Greedily, the forest drinks the light all up, leaving you in perpetual twilight, darkness. Your lantern, the only thing able to light your way. And then to the druid, like the mama trees in this forest, they grow tall so that all of their children leaves can drink as much light as possible and be well fed, well cared for, and well loved. They're lighting up torches and shit, and the druid's like, "What are you doing? We can't see. Please, you threaten Mama Tree and her children with this fire. How could you?" And everybody's looking at the druid like, "What's wrong with this guy? I don't got dark vision. Jeez. Do I look like I have dark vision? No, I don't." And how would you know someone has dark vision? They have large pupils, in case anyone was wondering. Because they have to capture every little, son of a bitch, every little bit of light. So people with dark vision have exceptionally large, creepy pupils. They look like anime people, except their eyes aren't bigger, just the pupils are. Maybe they have those black eyes. Or, like, all right, what's the thing with, like, people being possessed and their eyes just being pitch black? Like, back in the day, if I remember correctly, it was always the entire eye being white. But nowadays, it's like the entire eye is black. And I don't know. What's up with the change? Is there a reason for it? Like, somebody thought, "Yeah, we made a change," and everyone else is just following suit. I really don't know. But yeah, I'm still like, you see what I'm going through now. Imagine, imagine this entire map. Like, look at the section of the map. All that work has. I'm not even quite done, but what this has covered is that small bit of forest, and I've got so much more forest to draw. So, yeah. As always, ensure that you save constantly. For anyone wondering why I don't use a hotkey to save, it's one, it's a habit. I'd never used the hotkey to save. Once in a while, I forget and I actually use the hotkey to save. But for me, physically, like clicking the drop down menu and clicking save, I know it's saving. Not everything I work on is this massive or being broadcast live. So I have more system resources to dedicate to Photoshop. Uh, I also worked on a few posters and another world map of mine, which is like 100 times larger than this one. So I'm a bit short on system resources. But yeah, I clicked the drop down menu because when you hit save, if you haven't made any changes and you go back to see if you saved, the save button is grayed out. So you can, even if you're forgetful, keep an eye out for whether or not you actually saved your work. Yeah, this method of mapping is the most time consuming because everything is, nothing is procedural in this way. Um, the quick layout of the forest that I did was fairly procedural. I mean, simply just a scatter brush that I made so that I can get like the broken up silhouette to get an idea of where the forest would be and not have full and complete control over the outline so that the forest can grow in whatever way it wants without my interference. But that was it. I mean, and that was only to sort of generate the silhouette of the forest, not actually have a finalized result. What in the mess is that? Wasn't Sam Hill? Played some Deadlands Reloaded last night. It was pretty fun. I'm sensing that I may have some inner cowboy games brewing. Simply because I just like doing that accent. Wasn't a Sam Hill? Well, look at here, you know. You can't go around touching that ghost rock, you see. It ain't good for you. Don't know exactly what it does, but you don't need to know what it does. Don't find out. I'll guarantee you will regret finding out what the ghost rock does. All those funny shamans and weird science guys playing with the ghost rock. I don't trust them. Is that it for my last thing? I didn't have a forest over there. That's like a barren outcropping. Yeah, this is basically the mountain layout. This is a pattern I was playing with in a sketch pad for a while and never did in my actual digital map. So this is the first time I'm actually using this type of mountain mapping in a digital map. I'm assuming this is much closer, of an overland map where you can actually see a bit of the details as far as that's concerned than the cliffs. So this entire shoreline is elevated pretty high above the ocean. I'll go through and put the sort of ocean ripples there later. Here's you can travel to get there through sort of that way. The peninsula. You've got water on how many sides? Oh, it looks like you're a peninsula. Let me. No. Yes. Put this back to 9 pixels. And start putting more of the outlines for the maps. No, the outlines for the trees. Close everything off. Makes things easier in the long run. I tried so hard and got so far, but in the end, it doesn't even matter. I'm just being silly. Yes, I know. I had to fall to lose it all, but in the end, it doesn't even matter. Meow, but don't know why. And then the man her and try to keep that in mind. And rhyme to explain in due time that all I know is part of the way you were mocking me. Acting like I was part of your property. This is my property. Respect my authority. Timothy Cartman. Oh, gosh. Respect my authority. All right, so we got a little bit of stuff there. One thing, I don't know why I'm singing this song, so I'm gonna cry. I'm pretty much just doing the same things over and over right now. This is the part of the process that's incredibly repetitive and would have been wonderful to have other people making their own maps so we can discuss what they're doing at about this time, or what I should be doing. I mean, if you want to ask, what's up with that? Like, why is the forest so big there, or whatever? It's math, one thing. I don't know why. It doesn't even matter how hard you what? Keep that in mind. I designed this rhyme to what? Interrupt myself from doing what I'm doing, which is mapping. This is Mappa Mappa. That's gonna be a fairly large forest. See if we can get some. This part is all done, right? No open spaces, please. Makes things easier if in the future if there's no open spaces. Yeah, that looks too sort of. High point of that forest. Ay, ay. Take it all a little higher in that area. And we'll keep the loops coming in a fashion that they belong. A low point in between those two. That's cool. I'm cool with that. Are you guys cool with that? I'm cool with that because they are happy little trees, happy little forest, going about its happy merry little way. So I'm becoming the Bob Ross of fantasy mapping. Next thing you know, I'll have some happy little critters join me on this show. They'll probably be in the form of my little baby daughter. Calling her a critter is probably not the best thing to do, but anyway, and a man or a woman who's happen to be a happy little parent knows that yes, your children can be quite happy little critters. Which is actually true. Just saying, for those that don't know, children are awesomely happy. Make you awesomely happy, those little critters. Wrong way. You know what? We'll just cover that area right there. I like the way you cover the area right there, right there. Oh my gosh, I'm silly. Wiggle your hips when you're walking like down your hair. How would you turn that into a mapping thing? I like the way you map it right there, right there. Squiggle them leaves when you're drawing. Something, something. I don't know, man. That's where I get a little confused. Apparently, you must be confused. You're over here trying to remake rap songs into mapping ditties. Is a mapping ditty anything like a P Diddy? Oh God, no. Never mention that name ever again. What name? The Dark One. Also known as... No, I'm not going there. You know, Nick, probably right. I should do this a little later. That's why you come in here and make your little dungeon maps, battle maps, and we could chit chat about stuff and not have to suffer through myself, basically. This is the first time I've been completely alone. Usually, there's a partner in crime that doesn't really miss any of these. He was probably going to join a little later if life lets him. Because we all know life and how fun it can be at times. I like the way you do it right there, right there. I'm going to erase this bit and actually go up this cliff. Like, this canopy is so fragging high. It goes up that cliff. I like the way you do it right now. Wiggle your hips while you're walking. Let down your hair. I like the way you're walking. I love the way you're talking. The way you wiggle your hips. Right there. This would apparently just be a larger area. Should be lower canopy. That's too much of a straight line. I don't like straight lines. Gotta be as squiggle widgely as possible, right? Squiggle widgely. Like the next step in map development. Squiggle widgely. Is it squiggle widgely? No, it ain't squiggle widgely. So it ain't good enough. Squiggle widgely. It's like, if your map ain't squiggle widgely, you ain't got a map worth mapping. Squiggle widgely. Yeah. Oh! Stop reading extra things. Keep mapping. Keep mapping. Keep mapping. Mappa mapping. I almost feel like I should stop doing this and just draw a character or a monster. Like, grrr. Get rid of that. Oh, silly. This is dangerous forest. That's what that means. I mean, I'm trying to be honest with you guys. It's dangerous forest. You won't step in this forest. This is the forest of the angry face. The angry face forest. Make sure that all the lines are covered. Oh, are you gonna crawl off the side of that cliff? There might be a distinct possibility. But let's go back here. Keep mapping. Keep drawing. Keep world crafting. Just stop singing. Not that I keep singing. Say that and I just stop singing altogether. Oh gosh. Even I don't like my own singing. I can't beatbox, so I'm useless. I can map. That's what I can do. Who needs the ability to sing when you can MAPPA? And not only can I MAPPA, I can MAPPA. That's the high point of the fucking canopy right the fuck there. A couple of big trees grow there, you know what I'm saying? I don't like the way that loops. No. That's the beat you gotta draw your trees to. Ay, that's too dark. Can you tell that I usually don't chat to myself when I'm doing maps? I just sort of a map. I tend to listen to a lot of music. I mean, I would watch games. There's so many games I need to catch up on. But like, I don't know. There's something about watching games that just is distracting. Like you stop and you just watch. I mean, that's me anyway. I just have to stop and watch. Like the connection to what's going on by physically watching what's going on. If I don't have that, then I don't have that. But then with these live plays, for me, if I don't feel that need to connect to what's going on, it's almost like I shouldn't be watching it in the first place. And with so many awesome games like going down and me wanting to watch them, it doesn't work out for like mapping or writing. I always get distracted. It's like, they what? Yo, we just rolled a crit. When I was watching that Cyberpunk 05R thing, and all these questions were popping in my head, and nobody was asking what I was thinking. I'm like, no, I gotta stop watching this. I'll come back to it later when it's not live and I don't have to drive myself crazy. I don't like that too. There you go. Like another chunky piece of. Let's make this whole thing chunky. There you go. Just the higher bits of canopy. I've closed it all off, right? Did I miss anything? That's not a loose bit. Bring the action. I want to club. All eyes on us. This song is just so sucky. Because like she's trying. Yep, there you go. That's a spot I missed. That's why it's good to check before you drive yourself utterly insane. Ensure everything is selected the way it's supposed to be selected. Trust me, it's faster to do this than to color it in. You invert your selection and then shrink your selection by 2 pixels. Once I do, I contract by 2 pixels. Go to my green color. Oh, wait, wrong layer. Layers are great when you can remember to use them. That's what that's looking on right now. All those little extra details and smaller loops. Oh no, I just fudge. I might as well finish this now because I saw it. So I don't want to do this part anymore. But since this section of like the forests and trees has had so much work done into it, I may not notice this piece I missed in the future. Just in case, I'll finish this piece now. So the happy little branches, on the end of the happy little branches, they have happy little trees and happy little leaves. On the end of, yeah, well, you know, like the end of branches would have happy little trees because, you know, one end is the tree, and the other end is nothing. Branch reaches forward into the nothingness, unable to grasp at anything but air. The branch grows a leaf. Help it. That as black. Over here, BSing. Fudger luck. Okay. Ew. Reason I'm not worried about those rivers going all the way up the mountain because I don't want those rivers to be seen. Like, I would think they grow to be too small to be seen at this level. I would like to think they grow to be too small to be seen at this level, so that like I don't draw them into the mountain and hide them in some trees because, you know, rivers run through forests. A river runs through it. Man, is it quiet in here. Lonely. Yep, I'm singing again. So lonely. Lonely. I don't wanna be lonely, but I am all alone. One thing I don't enjoy about the Wacom is that there's like this screen, right? And I forget what the screen on the Cintiq is for exactly, but it creates a slight disconnect in the distance between my brush, for example, and the Wacom pen. So connecting to what I'm doing, if I draw a line there and I pick up the pen and I start somewhere else over here, getting those two lines connected is more of a practiced sense with the Cintiq rather than, just doing it like you would with a pen. Like you would with Nike. Nike, just do it. Create a clearing in the forest over there that makes no sense because why in the hell not? It's a forest. The forest grows where it wants to grow. It does what it will. We know not why, because we are not the forest. Were we to judge such a magnificent entity as the forest? Oh, I know what you're saying. The forest is not an entity, but that'd be wrong. For the forest is an entity. It lives, it breathes, it feeds, it reproduces, it grows, and it dies. Every tree, every plant, every bush. The forest just is an entity. The earth is our mother. For she ages and changes. She groans with pain. And yet life is everlasting in the way that it always renews. Isn't that just wonderful? Aye, yes. Yes, it is. I'm gonna make some amendments to how that lays out right there. Am I done with that side of the forest? Because that was a lot. Holy cow. Need to take a mental break. Probably already tell I'm losing my mind. It's in the process of saving. Is this done yet? Yep, it's done. Now the center of this bad boy's got to be huge, right? Because it's like the big sort of chunky foresty area. There might be some like forest villages and crap in here. Maybe some canopy people. Maybe the wood elves in this setting live in tree houses, and the tree houses, if any place, would be in like woods like this. They're so large and thick with such huge trees, keeping them far off the floor, away from predators and the prying eyes of adventurous humans that would steal their magics, defile their ways. Well, it's that heavy area of the forest. Like over here, it gets kind of thin. What was it? There we go. It's like a low area for both sides of this forest. Up. High piece. I can see where it is. Pay no mind to the man behind that curtain. Pay no mind to the man behind the curtain. Pay no mind. I wonder if you had like a jet grind radio version of D&D where it's about like tagging up and stuff. Well, this forest is going to be a beast. We work on something smaller. Yay! This little set of trees right here. You won't drive me mad, will you? you drive me mad? No, you wouldn't do that to me. Because you're such a small section of cheese. That's that. All right. I think this is a little... Another nice little small section of cheese. It should probably be larger than it is. Don't worry too much about that. Will we? That'll be good the way it is. Leaving enough room for the smaller loops to do what it is they gotta do. Just make this thing look better. So, it looks like we got one person watching. Somebody there, and hello, whoever you may be, mysterious somebody. The mystery. You see my delta? That's a delta. It goes. Georgia, Georgia. I don't know how I segued into that because I didn't, but it happened. This little piece right here is like not necessarily an actual delta, but like the beginnings of it as the mouth of two different rivers sort of unite. But as they simultaneously unite, they're dipping out into the salt water, carrying all the sediment from the mountains and depositing them there so that another delta can begin to form. Because why not? Deltas are awesome. Wetlands are like, we wouldn't be alive if it weren't for wetlands. You know what I'm saying? Most of Florida is built on a damn wetland. So, there you go. Georgia, Georgia. That looks weird. This looks like it's a burgeoning behemoth of a forest. So let's make it as such. Mm-hmm. Yeah, like you need some theme music and background noise. I need to get like the sounds of a forest playing in the background, the running water of a river, soft breeze, sound of birds chirping in the trees. Like, oh, it's so relaxing. It's making me more in tune with nature. I can't believe how beautiful it all is. See this forest? No, I'm not doing that forest now. What? Look at that. Oh my gosh. Rah, there is an oxbow. Crescent Lake. That's an oxbow. See when rivers meander. Oh, you could just go find out what an oxbow is from Bill Nye, like I did. Bill Nye the Science Guy. Bill. Learned so much about geography and geomorphology from that dude. It's like damn near the extent of whatever it is I may know comes primarily from Bill Nye. And I am proud to say so. We need more programs like that, you know? Like, what are the educational programs nowadays? Really? And I'm not talking about Beekman's World. Oh, hell no. I mean, I watched that too because I like science, but it was not that informative. Not when compared to Bill Nye. What do you think, Bill Nye? You want to come back and continue your educational career into the minds and hearts of young scientists across the globe, or at least across the U.S.? I'm telling you, my daughter, she loves science stuff. She loves things that, you know, they build up and blow up and, yeah, come back down again and changing things. Trying to teach her non-Euclidean, non-Newtonian liquids before, when she was watching a video about a dude that basically filled a swimming pool with pudding, and he was walking across it, and she was so amazed, which is great. I mean, that shit is great because, you know, it's that sense of amazement that puts us on a path to learning things. The same thing rings true for RPG games. You know, that sense of amazement, that sense of wonderment, making sure that stays alive uh, in you. You know, keeping that sense of wonderment for the world around, and then trying your best to translate that into, like, when you're playing a character or representing an NPC or a world you're building. Going all Bob Ross when it comes to describing your forests. Mother Tree. She grows tall, reaches as far out as she can to make sure that all our children have the light they need to grow strong. You know? It's Bob Ross in it. That is a huge forest I'm not touching. You people don't understand. Drawing all these forests. Maybe you do. I mean, you know, drawing these forests is hell on the wrists and the neck. Ow. I don't know if you heard that. I kind of hope you didn't, because you'd be disturbed if you did. But yeah. That looks cool. Give it a higher canopy of trees in there because it's a pretty big section of forest. That's no. I think I like that a bit more. Or no. I just messed it up, and I'm trying to fix a mess up, which, you know, nah. You don't make any mistakes. You just make happy little accidents. And that was a hell of a happy accident. Um, love Bob Ross, man. He is so chill. I mean, I can't paint with oil color because I'm asthmatic. So, you know, that stuff literally kills me, but still love Bob Ross. He bringing bunnies and squirrels on his show. I mean, they got his show back up on Netflix, so Netflix be killing it. They already got 2 seasons of Daredevil. They've got Jessica Jones, spinoff of Luke Cage coming out. I could have sworn I even seen something about Judge Dredd, Voltron. What? It's like all the right people are going, are doing things in Netflix. It's like, oh, my childhood. Oh, more of my childhood. Oh, even more of my childhood. that okay, that was a bad thing. Not what I just said, but what I just drew for the forest. I think I want this one to be a little higher than the others. So there you go. It's a little higher than the others now. Attacking all these little forests because they're easier to get the outlines and stuff done for. Especially when you consider that I passed these already. Should just go back and finish it up. That was not cool. I think I kind of want to cross these 2 forests together. But like right there. So you can have like a glimpse of a peak of that river before it disappears back into the woods. So like that's like decline. That's the sharp area before it begins to break and meander. So the rapids would be in that section, and then like it cuts through, like comes from the mountain into the woods, and you know it breaks through the canopy of the woods. You get that moment of fresh air, that moment of light, I should say. You know, like you get to see the sun directly right before being engulfed by the forest once more. And then the river grows a bit lazy. So like you know, like gosh, I can't believe I'm actually doing that unconsciously. In this area, like if you had players coming through these woods, right? You can have them go through that section. All right. Let me just get done with some of this forest before I forget. Somebody just pinged me. Yeah, what up? Still got now. But yeah, those rivers, right? I've through like checking out about why rivers meander and whatnot, towards the top of the mountains, rivers are usually straighter because of the decline is much sharper. So it doesn't have time to go this way or that or bounce around. It just cuts straight downward. And in doing so, you can kind of get this thing called a braided river. That's where like the rocks are in the river, and I'm assuming where a lot of the rapids are. And, pardon me. The reason a river starts to become a little lazy and meander left and right is because without that speed, it starts eroding away areas of land, and it deposits like what is it? It deposits sediment that is usually picked up and carried from cutting away in the mountains, right? And side of the river that is the shorter side in the meander is where sediment is being deposited, and in those areas where sediment is being deposited, it builds up that bank. So like when you get a bank that you could, it's a soft transition into the river rather than like a little bit of a cliff. That's where it's depositing the sediment. And there's the side of the river where it is a little bit more like a cliff, where they have like the undercut, where like catfish and whatnot would tend to hide. Those like ambush predators, those freshwater ambush predators, where they hide, and that's the outer edge of the meander, right? Because the outer edge of the meander is actually moving a little bit faster. And oxbows, oxbow lakes, if I remember correctly, they happen when the outer edge of the meander gets too far away and too extreme of a curve, that the path of least resistance becomes starting to go forward again. So it starts going forward, depositing sediment, cutting off that area of the river, leaving a little bit of an oxbow, or that's what it's called, an oxbow. I think it's also called something else that I can't quite remember right now. This area of this landmass is more or less like a little bog. It's like low end area of this landmass that rainwater collects. And since rainwater is like completely fresh water with very little sediment at all, I'm kind of guessing this is where the forest stops because there's not enough nutrients or what have you. And this is like a treeless swamp, just a little bad area. Maybe some swamp trolls or something live there. Here's where like this piece of land is breaking off from that, and it's connected by a small little isthmus. So with the little isthmus breaking up, you get a little bit of little islands and channels separating this piece of land from the others. You just got this large forest here doing whatever it's doing. It's just being what it is, and that's a forest. But like this could be the goblins' woods, and they're separated from everyone else. So maybe the goblins in these woods have developed like hierarchy, society. Maybe they have a king and a kingdom. They don't raid, they don't have like little tribal warfare. They have little canoes to cross the isthmus into this land, and whatever kingdoms are around here with these plains and the farms that would be growing grains and whatever on those plains, like a war with an actual unified sort of group of goblins, like a legion, military force. where their greatest resources got to be like, animal bones and wood, since this is just a big forest. But you could do a lot with that,
Hey, dude.
Oh, I hear someone. That's who I think it is, right? That's Brian.
Hello.
Can you hear me? Let me tab over. Can you hear me? I'm speaking. Yo, I think you might have to restart.
Hello.
Yes.
Right.
You can hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. I had the volume down, so that's what was wrong.
Oh. Can you hear me now? Good.
I can hear ya.
I'm over here. I'm over here getting my little Bob Ross on, talking about the happy little trees, trying to fill the void.
Oh, look at those trees.
Yeah, these are so insane to do.
So, anybody else come? No.
No, nobody else has come so far. I had Lee ping me, and there's life is going down for him,
Okay.
and he's unable to make it right now. I don't know if he'll be able to make it at all. We'll just have to see. But we do have like another hour of this, so.
Right. Well, fingers crossed. My goddamn tablet's gonna work. And did you just do the Terminator thing chain there?
Yeah.
Dead end.
That's to inspire your tablet to work.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to terminate it.
It's just the pen pressure. I just hope it does not screw me over.
I mean, if you're gonna do a map, like you can kind of ignore the pen pressure.
Well, that's true, but
just pretend you're using those little micron pens.
Yeah.
I messed. Ugh, that was a bad loop.
Photoshop on. Yow.
Photoshop on. Tablet engaged. And I'll form the creativity. I was talking about Voltron a second ago. Netflix is killing it. So this is like I'm about halfway done with all the forests that I had planned on putting there.
Oh, that's a lot of nice work.
But I still got to go through and put the little happy little leaves, because like you see these forests over here.
Yeah.
They've got those little loopy loos that make it look like it has leaves.
Yes.
None of these have those right now.
Oh gosh. Oh no. Oh, yeah. No.
Yeah, that's the next part. Let me save while I have a chance.
I do not envy you.
Yeah, but it's gonna look pretty.
I thought it's gonna look pretty.
Ultimately, what I want to do is also put a little bit of cell shading on like the mountains and the trees.
Mm-hmm.
And probably like give a better idea of how high the mountain range is by casting a shadow.
Mm-hmm.
But that's after I get done enough to get to that final stage. Can't even remember when. I gotta like check the contest thing, because there's like a deadline for where you gotta, like any contest.
July, wasn't it?
It's far off, right?
Yeah, it's far off. All right, I just had to figure out what the hell am I gonna do.
Load up this map, man.
I'll have it loaded up.
Oh, you're wondering what you're gonna do with it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this.
I was thinking of doing something cartoony. Like the openings of those old uh books. Like He-Man and Thundercats and stuff, and you get the map of the world.
Yeah, yeah.
I was thinking of doing something cartoony like that.
So go for it.
Yeah. So I'll just like map where I think things could be. And I'm gonna have it littered with all these crazy things all over it.
Go for it, brother. Like me, I had it was a task to try to connect with the map because
Mhm.
the land masses just look so weird to me.
Yes.
So that was my issue with this map.
Yeah, it's a funny ship.
They've got that huge bay
Yeah, it's really big.
that I don't know why it's
Well, it
there.
really doesn't have to be a bay, to be honest.
Yeah,
And
but like no matter what side of the map, because Nate posited that just use the shoreline. It doesn't necessarily dictate what side of that shoreline has to be the land.
yeah,
But if you look at the map, it's either side. It's still a weird looking bay. So
because I was thinking of that. I was thinking of like, do I want that? Do I want that to be the land mass, or do I want it to be there? Probably stick with there to be honest, because you have that. No, I know that. What do you think?
which side?
Can you see my? You see what I'm doing?
I got to tab over. Yeah, yeah, that's the side that I used.
Yeah, I'm just like I always do it that way,
Yeah, but
but
then that
it's just leaves this huge landmass here. It's just like unless I like put in little islands or something, but that to me is much bigger to work with.
uh,
This here,
yeah, it's sort of just weird. I guess if you like chopped off a little bit more, maybe. But that's the black areas for you are your landmass, correct?
I suppose so.
Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Oh no, wait, hold on. I made that a little bit too dark.
Yeah, so the green areas where you're going. Yeah, yeah, that's exactly what I did.
Yeah,
So, yeah, I did it. So
it just seems to be more to play with,
it kind of does.
but
Like trying to come up with the story and stuff
yeah,
of like how that developed and where the sort of kingdoms and towns would be uh, is something I'm having trouble with this landmass because it's so all over the place
yeah,
in the way that it looks, right? Because like I've got the same idea that you have as which part of the landmass to use. I just decided I sort of in some ways shot myself in the foot when it came to amount of land to work with when I
yeah.
did the mountain range. But mountains they be places. You know what I'm saying?
Mountains are nice. You can always change it into a large forest, like this.
Yeah. Oh, oh shit. That might be a very interesting way of doing it. Like you have like that super dense forest and then like plains, so there is no water visible.
Yeah,
There's no oceans visible, but it's still a map. That is really interesting. I don't, you know, fuck. Now I don't know.
do that.
Yeah, all the shapes are still there. I
That,
wonder. I wonder how valid that would be as far as like the contest. But I would actually like to see what you would do with that. That's really fucking interesting.
Could be interesting. I just don't know what. No,
Ain't nothing to it but to do it, brother. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta.
I'll see where this will take me. I'll just see if I can map in some things, you know, maybe some mountains, you know. See if this can go anywhere. But I think I might have to look at the rules again, but he said be creative. I don't think he said that you can't. And the pen pressure isn't working on this goddamn thing. I don't think he said you couldn't do anything like this. As long as you use the shape.
Yeah. Like I altered my coastlines a bit. The general shape is still there, but I kind of had to. Like I felt I don't like that. I felt compelled to edit my coastlines, you know, because it made me feel a little bit more attached to the map, and like understand the map in my own mind a little better. Like the happy little coastline with the happy little ocean and its friend, the land. You're laughing, dude. I was talking like that for like an hour. Let's get my Bob Ross on, son. my happy little Delta has all its little friends present. It's talking about the mother tree and all her children leaves.
She grows in the way she does. All those leaves. My gosh.
It's gonna be fun. I got myself into something. I'll tell you that. And like whenever I add an elevation to the canopy, like this stuff, that just means I have to put all the leaves there too. But I don't know, man. It's like a look that I thoroughly enjoy by the end, like thoroughly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so see, it's worth it in my eyes. See. And I guess like these will be open plains or something. Maybe I should do some height elevations. I don't know. Oh, this last piece of forest is gonna be such a bear. I can do it though. I got it. I got it. I got it. You see?
You got it. You got it.
Yeah. You got it, see? Because I got it. I got it. You got it. We all got it. See? I want to do like this area of mountain. I haven't made it green yet, but I want that to be like a flat area.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I don't know. I was thinking of like the Nazca lines and how they have parts of mountain that look like they've been cleaved off. So like whatever this setting is for, like the people on this plateau think they're like a god's children or a god's chosen because the god cleaved off a piece of the mountain just for them.
I
don't know. Huh?
I see.
Yeah, I think too damn much. I think I want to hide this river a bit, like before it goes into the delta. There ain't no rest for the wicked. Money don't grow on trees. I got bills to pay, I got mouths to feed, and ain't nothing in this world is free. Can't hold on, can't hold back, even though I wish I could. 'Cause there ain't no rest for the wicked till we close our eyes for good. Dum, dum, tsk, 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 dum, dum, tsk, tsk. Ay. It's like I like doing the trees like this.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I notice patterns like arising, and I'm deviating from the randomness that I created for myself a bit. So I accidentally make my own patterns. Oh, I forgot to fill this in like a genius. Well, there you go. I can't hold back, even though I wish I could. 'Cause there ain't no rest for the wicked till we close our eyes for good. There are two people watching. Say hello. The chat is open, my friends.
Hello, people who's watching.
I know these mysterious people who reside in the shadow.
Sure, it's not us. It's watching ourselves.
I don't know. I guess. I mean, if that's possible. Hello, me. Hi, me. How are you doing? Me, I'm absolutely fantabulous. How are you? Well, I've been better.
Hey, me, give me a suggestion. Yeah.
Well, you know. Wait a minute. Okay, hold on. I know you're sort of in the planning stages of your map, right?
Yeah.
I can see. I'm like, oh shit! You got a little desert. The plan of having what looks to be like a pyramid sort of complex. That area must be some sort of valley, like deep crag, evil doers mountain, other mountains, short the little bit of shoreline. It's like home. It's home now.
I don't know.
It's all good. I mean, are you sure that those viewers are us? Because like it went down to 0 viewers before, and I didn't leave. Because I watch myself. I gotta watch myself because I can't trust myself to not be utterly silly. Actually, I can always trust myself to be incredibly silly. Can't hold back.
I don't know if it's gonna work the way I want it.
Well, you can't make it work. The trees have their minds of their own, and the mother trees and the son and daughter leaves. They stretch and they grow, and they reach outward to the sun,
Yeah.
drinking up its life giving light in whatever way they see fit. You can't just tell them what to do. They don't work that way.
Yeah, you have to guide them.
They go where they're needed, and they tell you, look, we belong here.
You're sounding really creepy.
I guess me getting my Bob Ross on ain't always the best thing, huh?
Mm.
Brian, you see, we want to go here. We know that it doesn't fit with your plans. It doesn't necessarily look right.
Oh my god.
Because we're not there. We'll only look right when we get there. It's where we belong. He's like, oh, stop talking in that voice. You're disturbing me.
Yeah, it's really freaking me out.
You're messing with my tree making mojo. I'm freaking you out.
You're freaking me out, so you are. Get the choppers.
There's no chopper here. This is a fantasy map. We got fantasy chopper. Get to the dragon. Just in case somebody's tamed a dragon, you know. You don't know. We might be playing 3rd edition D&D where paladins could get dragon mounts because.
Just because it'd be funny.
You know, they had a feat back in the day where if you like took the feat or something, you can get way more powerful mounts. Because the paladin would get a paladin mount, and the paladin's mount would have like special sort of magical divine features. I had one guy that I was playing with that he was a Minotaur paladin searching for a dragon mount. And I'm like, what? And in 3rd edition, the Minotaurs were like a large race. So he was like the biggest dude. He had the sword forged from Tempest, the war god himself.
God.
And like he wouldn't do nothing. He was such a big. He was like a huge punk for a paladin.
Yeah.
Let alone a paladin who was chosen by the god of war in that setting.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, oh my gosh. Like we were in this scene, right? We had been traveling and adventuring through these ancient dwarven holds that were overrun with trolls and ogres. You know, they took up residence in these ancient dwarven steads, right? So anyway, we're going through that, and there's like this cursed area that has undead and whatnot.
Yeah.
And there was this spot where these skeletal magi throwing around their little magic energies and whatnot. And we had like porters and little priests and stuff carrying our stuff, healing us or whatever. And like the people in the back, like I made a paladin for a cohort because you had the leadership feat back then. And my paladin cohort was like, defend the innocent and all that, right?
Yeah.
And they were getting hit by all these magical skeletal mage blasts. And my paladin is like running forward, grabbing people from the front line, like shoving them to the back, using his lay on hands to make sure nobody dies. And you know, he charges into the fight and whatnot, but he's really low level because he's just a cohort, right? And this paladin, this Minotaur paladin of the god of war, Tempest himself, wielding the holy Debor, a weapon forged with the god's own hands, and all this other shit, is over there sipping on healing potions. Every time he gets hit for like 8 or 9 hit points, this motherfucker has got like 200 hit points, and he's sipping on lesser heal on a level 1 cure wounds potion, getting D8 back. Like, nope, I'm not full, so I'm not fighting.
Oh my god.
What are you doing? What are you doing? I've got my like low 5th level cohort, and then I was playing a wizard, and my wizard was like damn near out of spells and whatnot because we had been traveling for a long ass time.
Yeah.
And my wizard was like out of spells and shit. And I'm like, fuck. I went forward, right? And this is back in 3rd edition where cantrips actually had spell slots. So you couldn't like cast level 0 spells over and over.
Mm-hmm.
So I had like no spells left. I was conserving onto every ounce of what little bit I had left. So I went forward with my wizard, and by this time my wizard had actually had the lower half of his forearm ripped off by a barbed devil, right? So I got a one-armed wizard charging forward, trying to like stop these skeletal mages and whatnot. I got my paladin cohort, who's not even half my wizard's level, charging forward, and you've got this super uber powerful minotaur paladin sipping. He's not even grabbing the people. Like my paladin was grabbing the innocent people and trying to push them back and like heal them. He wasn't healing nobody. And mind you, my paladin was getting shot too. He wasn't healing nobody. Just like sipping on some sisters. Like that's all he was doing. It's like, oh my gosh,
what a security bar.
You were so not good for a paladin. Like what paladin would sit back and just watch innocents be devastated in that manner when they could do something about it? So finally, we guilted him into charging forward. He touched one of those skeletons, right? Like he rolled horribly, managed to hit them, and basically turned them into dust with all the damage he did.
Right.
Like he did 20 times more damage than like they needed like something like hold on. He made like he rolled like a 5 on his attack, hit him, right? And then like he rolled damage, and he rolled like so low compared to what he could have rolled, and they only needed like 20 or 30 hit points of damage to be destroyed, and he did like 100. So they just turned to fucking dust because it was so bad. Like the gear he had, the power at his very disposal was so immense, and yet he was like, "No, I'm not going." No.
You see, the day before he had a manicure, so he didn't want to, dirty his fingernails.
Yeah. Yo, and he wasn't even like, he had tons of healing potions, right? Like my with our riches, my wizard had bought scrolls, and my wizard was he had to keep dipping into his scrolls and whatnot. And I bought magic items of spell storing and stuff so I could cast more. And he bought tons and tons of healing potions. And he's a paladin. He has the whole lay on hands feature and all this craziness. And he's over here drinking potions. The porters and like the chroniclers and all that are dying, and he's like sipping on some sisters.
Oh gosh,
it was crazy. Oh my goodness. You know what? I think I'm gonna leave that like that. Sipping on some sisters. Sipping on some sisters. Yeah. Okay. Control-I-X. For the color, select modify contract by 2 pixels. Because I always contract by 2 pixels because it's very good. That's done. So that's done. Lines, heights. I don't need to see that, do I? Just gonna save this. So always make sure to save your work, because if you lose it, that would suck.
Yes, that's not very pleasant.
Not at all. Dude, oh wow. All right. Oh no, I get it. I get your map. Yeah, that's gonna look pretty bananas.
Yeah, you think?
Yeah, I see that huge like monument and the way you're doing your cities. Yeah, I get it. I get it, buddy.
Let the battle commence. Like
The battle will begin. Huh?
Probably should shrink this in a wee bit. Gosh, it's like whenever you don't use Photoshop all the time, you kind of like forget what the hell you're doing.
Yeah. What's up, brother? We actually have someone watching, even though it's almost finished. Yay!
Oh.
I gotta work on those tiny little insignificant loops.
Would those mountains be there, Nelson?
What happened?
The mountains to the left, would they be there?
Wait, on yours?
Yeah.
Let me see. Normally,
yeah.
like the mountains really only form for two reasons, like volcanic activity.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when continental plates collide and all that landmass sort of shifts upwards. So they would be on the coast if like two continental plates had collided and then separated. So they can be there. Yeah, they can be there. You could like make the tallest mountain one of those tallest mountains into like volcanoes or something. Uh-oh.
Hey, man.
Hello, is there somebody there? Hey, it's Nick.
Man, what's going on, man?
No, man.
Hey! You turd monkeys, dude. I could only get here for the last 10 minutes of this thing.
I'll probably move back like an hour next time, I guess.
Well, you know, to be honest, like most Mondays, I don't have much going on these days, but, I mean, that could change at any moment, but, you know. It don't matter. I was able to be here for like the last two of these things, I think. So what are you working on there, Nelson?
This is, I don't know if you know Nate from WASD20.
Yeah, I've heard of him and I've seen him on the Provokers.
Yeah, he has like this little contest going, so there's a specific map for the contest, and it has like the coastlines or the general shapes of things, and you know, make a map using that. That's the contest. So that's what that's what both me and Brian are working on right now. I kind of got a little too excited about mapping something other than my Saturday morning project world. So I got started a little early.
Cheated, Nick. He cheated.
Yeah, Brian only started when he got here, and you know, he only got here like about an hour ago.
What a monkey.
Yeah, he's a bad man.
He's a bad man.
Bad to the bone.
Oh.
But yeah, that's what I'm doing. And this is the first time I'm using this technique for mountains in a digital way. Like I've drawn mountains like this on like developing this sort of thing on pad, but never here. I like the way they came out too.
Yeah, they're pretty good. Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Like sweet.
They look like little assholes. I mean,
oh, you're such a horrifying person, my friend. Horrifying, I say. Not just horrible, horrifying.
Yes, but I have a very special kitty, so that's okay. He's not horrifying.
Yeah, well, it's up for debate.
He is fucking suffocating me right now with his fat ass. Oh, big no.
Did you know that's the job of cats, to kill people and steal their souls?
Yeah, and then I'll report to Poe.
Oh, God. So Poe has become a monster, right? It makes sense, too, because Poe was pushing monsterhood before to maximize his power.
I wanted to play one more fucking... I wanted to play one more game, and I fully intended to monster him, but then I had work that day, and I couldn't do it. Which
It
yeah, he
just
makes a
didn't feel.
good monster.
It didn't feel the same without Poe. Like Poe, funnily enough, for some time, Poe was like the mental guiding force.
He's a drunk, a lush, and a madman, and he was leading the party around. I know, it was ridiculous. You know, it's messed up. I'm in a campaign with a Lloyd campaign right now, and I'm playing the big dumb barbarian, and it's the same fracking deal. He's a half orc, and he's leading the party around. Like, what are you guys doing? Why are you following this idiot? So I'm actually gonna retire that character so I can play something with like some charisma, and if that's my role, you know, I may as well have a fucking character that can actually do it. Jesus, it was so funny.
Hey, Nick, you're half orc, and my Yeti will get on well, I think.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. So Groknar, he's the character from that I played in what?
Oh no.
Steve's game? What? No, that's not his name. What's his name?
Josh.
Josh. Why did I get Steve stuck? I'm sorry, Josh.
Yeah, that.
Josh's game with the fucking troll flower.
Yeah. Oh man.
Did you guys ever finish that?
He never did the part 2. He never put it up. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what's happening. But yeah, he's his character in the beta campaign though. Speaking of trolls,
Is he literally a troll?
No,
is he literally a troll?
He's a were-tiger.
Oh.
Right. But there is a troll, all right, an NPC troll by the name of Thud, who was an obstacle that he negotiated with, and like his roles were like he was just on fire, right?
Trolls are awesome.
So he he negotiated with this troll Thud, got Thud to come to the town and agreed to protecting the town like a town guardsman. But he said that the understanding was that he'd feed the troll and whatnot, and the troll had to go with them to sort of feed himself, like get food. That Josh would then cook into, you know, an amazing barbecue. So basically, to shorten the story up, the troll went missing, and a bandit had hatched a plan that like would never work in a million years, right? Like this overly elaborate, no fucking way in hell going to work plan. But you know, the enemy has that kind of mentality, so I was like, that's what he's gonna do. And Josh fell like. I swear I don't know, like he purposely or not, or I don't know, accidentally, but the plan worked. The trap was sprung, everything worked, and now the troll that was once on their side is fighting them, and he beat Josh's character. Alright, peace out, brother. He beat Josh's character into a pulp. Like he's got so much temporary constitution damage. His constitution is 1 right now. 1.
Yeah, it was all kinds of crazy, Nick.
It was all kinds of crazy.
Sounds pretty wild, man.
Like homeboy was sleeping, and they could have got the drop on him. And it just didn't go down. It didn't go down like that. He was like, I am arrived. And he was like, well, I'm awake now. I'm gonna fuck you up.
And he did.
Poor Josh. You have to suffer through that.
We have to get Nick in one of our games, Nelson.
Yeah, well, Nick don't want to play like a priest or anything, so you guys need it. Like the way you guys have been
I would
playing.
play a walrus. I would play a walrus priest.
Man.
He'll have a little. He'll have the little hair with the middle shaved. You know, he'll wear the priest robe, like brown robe, like missionary robe. Yeah, that'd be fun.
The Tao Samat.
Yeah, little. Obviously we'll add some cartoony flair to it to make it fit the theme. The theme, and I mean,
they're pretty badass. I'm gonna tell you, Tao Samat.
Did you finish him?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's finished.
Yeah.
I got let's see if I can load this up real quick without crashing anything. Because I've been working on so many projects without restarting that my computer is like, help me. There you go. See him right there?
Oh shit! Oh yeah. Fuck yeah.
Big fat warriors.
Yeah, I like a big and a fat.
Rotunda.
You should have seen the one I draw, Nick. He was kind of,
yeah.
He had a big puller.
I mean, I haven't finished that iteration of the rules yet, but yeah, you could actually, maybe not a bear per se, because you get the wolf, the Amarok, but you can pretty much have that character, like the Tao Samat with the pet.
Polar bears will work in with the kind of Inuit type of mythology setting you had.
Yeah, but I guess if you want to like reskin it. Because, I mean, you can get that wolf, oh my god. With the hunter, you can get some power behind that wolf.
You get some DM that at a time where Nick can join us.
Yeah. What is a decent time for you, Nick?
Well, I have a lot more free time these days than I did just recently. But I guess the biggest piece of it all is just like I need to know a little bit beforehand because I generally fill my weeks up with games as early as I can. So, for instance, I run in a I don't know, man. It's week to week right now. I work on like Tuesday and Thursday and Friday currently. I love it. I only work 3 days a week right now. That's great. But that's gonna have to change pretty soon because I'm gonna run out of money. But generally, days that are pretty good are Wednesdays. Generally Mondays. It's 3 p.m. right now, so anytime after now is pretty good. Generally, I can, on a Monday, I can be back in, until I have to go out and get more work, and then that'll change all over again. But it's kind of an awkward moment to ask me that question because everything's in flux right now.
All right. Well, I mean,
but
yeah, it'll probably
Mondays,
have to be like a one-shot or a three-shot or something, because we do the campaign.
Fridays. Do the campaign on Tuesday?
Yeah, but for the most part, like.
I don't really like
give me an idea of what you want to play, because I haven't I haven't finished writing all the additions, because I've got a lot of new additions to the game that aren't in the.
Well, what kind of? What does it need? It needs priest. Is that what you need in it? Well, I guess that's for the campaign, huh?
I mean, yeah, the campaign they're in, and I mean, priests in the game in general are a huge linchpin to a party's performance. because they are
Mhm.
they're sort of a support class, but you know they do so much for the party that like
Mhm.
it's not just yeah a cast of healing. Oh, I'm out of healing. You know, you increase damage,
Mhm.
you do healing. You can get magic items that sort of make things attack you and heal. Like
Uh-oh, man. Your
my
one
boy.
squiggly line over there is too big. Uh-oh.
Oh golly, man. You gotta say something because you know I'm gonna get OCD about
You're gonna come back later and you're gonna see that shit. It's gonna bug you. May as
it.
well just take care of it now. Yeah, you have to send me the new. You will have to send me the new build for the book or whatever they're called, the new edition.
It's not
Let me build some.
I don't have that beta version done. That's
Yeah,
gonna be a
well.
few months. Uh,
Oh,
like
okay.
like I can if we chat like how we did before. You told me basically what you wanted.
Mm-hmm.
I can get it done, but it's most of the editions are pretty much still in just the text format,
Mm-hmm.
so I don't have a PDF of them.
Well,
I
I'll take a look through. I'll take a look through and kind of peruse what's there and see what's going on.
If you really want to play the war with people, I'll let you know what they get.
Yeah, let me know. Tell me a little bit about Walrus Folk.
Um, the Tau Samat basically come from an island far, far to the north, right?
Mm-hmm.
The island is it behaves like a tropical island, even though it's past sort of the polar desert.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the Tau Samat have like layers and layers of fat, so they've got damage resistance against any sort of damage a minion can do.
Okay.
So when you're fighting things that are lower level than you, you only take half damage from them.
Oh, okay.
That's pretty much what that means.
Okay.
Things that would constitute like boss battles, though, you still take normal damage. When everybody's like, kill the minions! Minions grouping up on you, destroying
Mm-hmm.
everybody, you're like, I got this.
Mm-hmm.
And they're kind of tough and wise. So as far as like
Mm-hmm.
being a priest, they make a decent priest.
Yep.
That's
Yes.
cool, right?
Brr, brr. I found the light brr, of the white god, brr, brr, and I converted. Brr, brr, brr.
Damn,
I
you're
don't know.
taking the blubber thing a little too far there.
Well, the problem is I've been doing this one voice. It's this
Yeah.
voice, and and now every voice I do, I've been doing it so much lately that every time I go in, it's like digging a trench. You know, after a while, you just sort of slip into it every time you go anywhere near it, and man, it's been rough.
Sorry, I should make a
But
voice like this.
no, no. Oh shit.
You sound like you got swallowed by a killer cube.
Looks like no
What?
Nick doesn't know what a killer cube is.
Yeah. That should be a new background. Swallowed, formerly swallowed by a killer cube. Hey, Nick, can you guess what shape a killer cube is?
Um, Kill Cube?
Killer cube.
Killing me here
Why is that? I mean, I would be, but
because I don't know what a Kill Cube is.
Sure.
that's why I'm asking the question.
Man, I gave you my answer. I said no.
All right, the killer cube shape is no, which is not far from the truth.
Fucking stupid.
They should have like a metal song intro. Bum, 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 bum.
Mm.
That'd be cool if like every enemy in a bestiary came with like an MP3 track for their intro. You're facing goblins.
Mm-hmm.
But these are goblin elites. Yeah, I guess.
I'm half asleep, guys. I'm not very good company.
Didn't you say it was like? Anyway, all
I
right.
know. I'm needing nap time. I'm an old man. Can't you see the gray in my hair?
This is called Mappa Mappa, not Nappa Nappa.
Yeah, well, it's about to be called Napa.
Don't leave us.
Oh.
Don't leave us.
Please don't
Oh.
go. Please don't
Aye.
go.
I don't know. You might have to manage you folks.
Don't go away. We want you to stay. Anyways,
What's that? What is it? Oh gosh, what's that game? What's that game you're playing, Nick? The Norse game.
Fate of the Norns.
So how's that going for you?
It's fantastic. It's right up my alley. It's got its system is it's based off of runes. So it's a diceless system, and it plays it kind of. It's interesting because it's strategic in the sense that it plays almost like a card game would, or you know, your abilities, they do what they do. They don't fail. Certain elements of them can be countered or defended against by other people's abilities, but there's no like outright failure in the game. So what that allows is it allows for you to have a narrative that you can go into, and even if you get defeated in the end, you still, the individual things that you do, your narrative stands. I mean, you do the thing you do, and you don't have to worry about, you know, am I able to do this because the dice allow me or not? It's just you do it, and that is balanced by a whole bunch of systems, but the main one is that the things that allow you to do things, the runes that you have, they also are your hit points. So as you take damage, those runes begin to disappear. Those things that you can do begin to disappear. And so through that process, you have this really kind of, in my opinion, I've only played one game, and so I may still be having the whole, you know, honeymoon period with it. So mind you, that's a very big element, but it feels like a fight. It feels like, I mean, yeah, there isn't. It has the dramatic flair of not, there's not failure involved, but as you take damage, you literally are losing your ability to fight well, and progressively more and more. And in that way, I think it more accurately represents an actual fucking combat than any other role-playing game I've ever played.
Okay.
So, for instance, let's say you have a bag with 5 runes in it, and you are capable of drawing 3 runes at the beginning of the combat round. And unlike other games, and more like in like a card game or so, there are phases to the combat. So the very first phase is upkeep, where everybody draws their runes for that turn of combat, and they enact any abilities that their characters have that trigger at upkeep, which can be healing, they can be buff abilities, there could be like, you know, I think there's one that allows you to do a free movement, so you can squirrel around. And then once upkeep's done, everybody goes through upkeep. Then you go into the initiative order, which is determined randomly, like any other game. And then each person in turn goes through their turn, what they want to do. And when you get to your turn, you can act as many times as you have ruins to play. So let's say, I have 5 in my bag, and I draw 3, and I get the ruin that allows me to do my most powerful attack. So each of your ruins is bound to an ability that you have. And I get that one, I'm like, great. So then I have to use one of my ruins to move so I can get in close to this guy. And then I use my second ruin to beat his fucking head in, right? And then I save my third ruin so that if someone attacks me, I can use it to parry. And then if I take a bunch of fucking damage that turn, then my runes start to go down a damage track and eventually get to the end of that track. And when that happens, my next rune goes through it. And first I draw those runes out of my bag, the 2 remaining runes that I would have in my bag on the first round of combat. But then, if I don't have any more runes in my bag, then I have to start taking them out of play. So, for instance, what if I had an ability that was like ability that I had to maintain, like something I was keeping up, like a war song, or in my case, I had this ability where I could turn into this massive wolf and fuck everything up.
Oh, that's
well,
cool.
in the game we played, we weren't using these extra layer of rules, but in the real game, you have to maintain that shit. So if you take damage, you may get knocked out of your wolf form because that rune that's keeping you as a wolf ends up in your damage track. So I thought that was really rad. Like, just the sleekness of that. The main obstacle with the game is that it appears and is very crunchy. Very, 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 very crunchy. And the learning curve is very steep. However, it is not that high. So it looks really steep, and it is really steep. But once you understand the main concepts, which aren't all that well, you can't just understand them at a glance. You have to read the fucking book, which it's a long book, and that's okay. I mean, it's only 360 pages, and the combat rules are all in like a 100-page chunk. But that's like a 100-page chunk of combat rules. I mean, it's serious. But I like it because I'm very tactical and strategy oriented, and I don't like the idea of having a great idea and then having it fail because I roll a 1 or a 2. Like, narratively, that can make some interesting situations, but when it comes down to it, I would rather have the ability to do. Now, mind you, if I get really low in the initiative order and some fucking asshole comes and whops me over the head 3 times, I may not be able to do that thing that I wanted to do on my turn anymore because I don't have the ruin. But at least I know when my turn comes that I don't have that option anymore. Instead of it being I have that option, but I failed. Anyhow, I loved it. It was great.
It sounds like... Have you ever played Magic the Gathering?
Absolutely.
I loved it. Just like Magic the Gathering, but the RPG.
It's very similar, but obviously less complex, because Magic the Gathering is fucking huge and like 30 years old.
But the core of Magic the Gathering, at its core, not the little nuances for each different card, because I'm assuming when Fate of the Norms get more shit, it's going to turn into the same thing. But at its heart, it sounds exactly like Magic the Gathering, as far as how it works.
It's very similar, yes.
I'm not saying that to like make it sound like a bad thing, but that's how I'm understanding what you said about the game. Like the runes sound like land cards where you tap to get mana. You get them at random because you said you get them at random, right?
Yeah, at the beginning of your turn, you essentially draw a hand of cards. Yes.
Yeah. You say that like you're mad I brought it up.
No, I made the comparison way early on during my explanation to card games. So yeah, no, it's definitely, and as a matter of fact, when we play it online, we use a deck of cards to represent the runes. So it is literally very much like that. It has its own rules. There's even like tapping, like turning the fucking thing sideways means something else. I mean, it's very, very,
Yeah.
very. Has lots of. The only difference really is that instead of the like abilities being printed on the cards themselves, or in this case the rune stones, they are instead printed on a piece of paper and then associated with a rune stone. So you draw the rune and then look at what its associated power on your character sheet is, and then play it. So yeah, it's absolutely.
Well, I mean that gives you okay. From what I'm understanding, your characters, or what it sounds like, is that your characters have a specific track of abilities that they can get that correlate to runes.
Yep.
All right. So when despite the fact that there's a limited set of runes, what those runes can do change depending on what kind of character you're playing.
That's absolutely true. So what you do is you choose your abilities, and then you have your rune stones, and you've either chosen your runes or you've been assigned them randomly. So that's like the difference between the 3D or 46 method and point buy. And then so you choose all your abilities, and then you bind each one of your rune stones to one of those abilities. But then your rune stones also have their own like basic abilities, like 6 different things that a rune stone can do just by itself, or it can trigger the main ability. And then once it has triggered the main ability, you can use a second rune stone to augment that main ability. And there's 3 different types of rune stones and 3 different types of things that each ability, 3 different ways that each ability let me rephrase. Up to 3 different ways each ability can be augmented. Some abilities, they all get augmented in the same way, and some of them have one for each different type of rune that you can play, which there are 3.
Like to really enjoy a game like that, you need to invest yourself.
You're gonna have to read the fucking rules. That's for damn sure. What we're working on it. Lloyd and I are working together to create a online almanac, essentially, so that you can get in and have access to the pieces of crunch that you need quickly and easily to make it more accessible. But you're still going to have to actually read in order to play it.
You're going to have to read rules for every game to know how to play a game. I mean.
Yeah, but I mean, in this situation, like, it doesn't follow any of the standard, the kind of mainstream things that people have been, it's not like a D10, it's not a D20, it's not a D anything system. It's kind of alien in the way that it is, and so therefore it creates a little bit.
I've played Magic for a while, so I understand it. Like you're not really telling me anything that doesn't seem easily understandable. It sounds like it's pretty comprehensible, but it takes the investment in learning what the
you're still gonna have to learn what all those individual things do. Like, just like in Magic, you got to learn what fucking like flashback does. You got to learn what fucking this, that, and the other thing does. All of those different types of abilities that they have, flanking, all that shit. Like, and that's And no, it's a very finite number of things too. So it's not it's not like Magic where there's 30 years worth of different abilities. It's it's like maybe 10 pages of different augmenters, and there is, I think, 36 pages of active abilities. But those that goes across all the different classes. So obviously when you pick a class, you only have to look up what that particular class, gets. Anyhow, I think it's great, and I'm looking forward to running some of it myself. I intend to read the front end of the book, though, before I do so, because I'm not very well versed on the Viking lore and setting, and I don't want to run a game that's so steeped in its setting without a decent understanding on that setting. So I've got, like, whole extra 150 pages I gotta read or some shit.
That sounds fun.
Uh-huh.
Said
I
sarcastically.
hate... Secret. I hate reading.
Yeah.
I guess it's not a secret anymore.
It sounded like a secret. Oh, it's only a 300 book with 100 pages of this. I mean, you know.
I don't know how many... Let me see. It's fun, though, man. I'm not going to lie. I'm on page 40 of the lore shit, right? The lore shit. You got to love how I talk about these things, right? Let me see. Oh, hey, the lore only goes to page 80. So I'm actually halfway through the lore currently. That's not bad. Once I get through that, then I've actually read the whole middle chunk of the game. Yeah, you know, and honestly, so the print is actually quite big, and there's tons of art on each page, so there isn't even all that much text on each page. So, you know, what seems like 300 pages, 365, is really probably quite a few less. Because there is literally art on. I mean, this would shit all over your parade probably if you. I mean, you have a lot of fucking art. You have a shit ton of fucking art in your book, but this is retarded, man. This is like every page.
I'm also a development team of one, so.
I know, yeah. These guys like got kickstarted with like I think they got like hundreds of thousands of dollars in crowdfunding. I'm not for sure on that. I don't know how much they got.
Look, anyone that hires artists and writers has got a hell of a lot more on me because I'm writing and arting everything myself. So you know,
yeah, but
I can't
if you're
get
able
mad.
if you're able to generate some fucking some revenue from the system, you might be able to expand your team a bit. That'd be fantastic, right?
Most definitely. Get a layout person. Like, go ahead. Let me just write and draw for now. You just lay it out. Get like twice as much done. I mean, but you know, when I'm doing maps like this, you can see why it takes forever.
Yeah, those squiggly lines fucking drive me nuts, man.
Yeah.
I've never gotten particularly good at doing that. What you're doing right now.
Yeah,
Brian's got a much more abstract feel to his.
Yep.
So where is this contest being held? Is it on
just on his channel.
WASD20?
WASD.
WASD20.
Yeah.
WASD.
I think I got the link for it in the MAPPA description.
Okay, let me
So what do you think, Nelson? What do you think of this?
I was taking a look at it, and like from at a glance, the your northeastern section almost looks like behind the mountain is just a valley of skulls. Like really quick glance.
Yeah.
But yeah, I see what you were talking about, like very 80s cartoon stuff.
Yeah.
But I like that one that one monument is just I'm just imagining in my head like actually describing the monument as being that big.
Yeah.
Like they literally carved that entire mountain into that one monument.
Yeah, that'd be freaky.
That's what I'm thinking of.
My pan's not working. Oh my god. My pan's not working now.
Oh, you got a good bit of it done.
I think this might be something what I'm going for.
But yeah, it does have that 80s Thundercats kind of feel, in my opinion.
Yeah. Why is it?
We're desert. We're plains. We're
Oh.
forest. We're water. Dun, dun, dun. I don't know why, but like Blue's Clues just popped in my head. Dun 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 dun.
Yeah, man, I don't know, dude. Like, I do okay, but I don't do draw. I use those damn Photoshop brushes to make all my fucking maps. So I doubt I'd be able to win anything with that. It's great for running a game, but it is not great for going into a contest where everybody has the same looking stuff, because I bet you there'll be like 20 million other people using the same brush set.
It also, I mean, it also depends on the creativity and the use of that brush set. Like, what do you do with it? You know?
Yeah.
Like, I could see your style of how you do your like battle maps and whatnot, of taking the texture and then, like, you know, stroking a path, creating the landmass and coastline into a path, and then with the texture.
You know what would be fucking hilarious if I didn't use this as a fucking coastline. If I fucking made it into a battle. If I made it into a cave.
No, that would be all. Go for it. Look, I'm the idiot that didn't get too creative. Right now, Brian hopped in here and changed the coastlines as just the borders of different sort of areas. You look like you're talking. Are you talking now?
Who?
I'm bugging. I'm just bugging out. But, like, do it. Go for it, man. Freaking go for it. That would be amazing to see you turn that into like an interior cave system and make what looks like coastlines into a battle map.
Yeah, I can totally. I'll whip it up real quick. Let's see.
Because it's all about, like, the different renditions and using your creativity to achieve a vision that starts off at a similar point. So I'm down for that, man. Seeing what people can do with the same sort of starting point, and, you know, the journey of what transpires simply from the different levels of creativity.
It's like a motherfucking journey, baby.
Yeah, sometimes I get deep, man.
It's all good, brother. Deep is good. Deep can be good.
Deep in reflection.
I like how we're going like hell along with this one. Like, just keep going.
Just keep going.
Yeah, this might be the longest MAPPA ever, but I'm down for it right now. I ain't by myself no more, so I'm just happy.
Oh man, yeah, this is gonna fucking work. I mean, darling, this is gonna flip flap and work.
It's gonna be fragging amazing.
I'll get that screen share up. Let me see. Can I just put it right on there? Yep. Is that working?
Sir, yes, sir.
Okay. All right, cool. God damn it! Gosh darn it! Hide that. All right, let's bring in. Oh, what did I do? I did not mean to do that. Let's bring in that solid black color. Bam! All right.
I'm almost sad that I'm doing like normal stuff now. You guys are freaking amazing.
All right, let's bring in some floor for our cave. Wow, this is gonna be I should vector this up so that it's quite a bit larger. I'll just scale all this stuff down.
Yeah.
No, I'm not going to. I'm gonna vector this whole thing up.
What do you mean vector it up?
I'm gonna turn it into a vector, and then I'm gonna increase its size by a whole buttload. So I'm going to take it. I'm going to do this. I'm going to select it, right? I'm going to go like this. I'm going to go to paths. I'm going to hit create path from the bang bang, and this will create something that will hold the relative shape. So it's a little rough, but now I can go. Let me see. Let's go. Let's go up to 200%. Let's go to 300%. Fuck it. I may be able to actually keep that like that. Actually, now that I think about
you're just scaling up the image.
Yeah, well, I was gonna turn it into a vector, but I don't think I need to. So vector is what the path tool is. So it takes it from pixels. So see, I lost
mathematical formula.
I lost some quality here when I upscaled. So that's okay. Actually, it doesn't look that bad, to be honest. So I'm thinking, when you make the path, it creates this like. So like now if I go and I create I'll hide this layer. I'll be like, hey, I don't want that layer no more. I don't want this layer anymore. I need a background layer and no, I didn't want to do that. I need a background layer, and then and now if I come over here and I grab I don't like to work like that, so I'm gonna do solid color. I'm gonna go black, and then on the black in the mask, I'm going to fill it with black in there, and see. But actually, you know what? To be honest, though, I don't get any cleaner edges doing this. So
it's the way Photoshop handles it. You'll never get 100% clean edge, man.
Let me see.
It just depends on your sort of pixel density. In your on-screen real estate. If you were using Illustrator, it would work.
Well, fuck Illustrator. Actually, I could clean the edge up like that, but still, that did it. That made hard edges for sure. Actually, that looks good. I think I like that better, to be honest. Nice hard. I mean, they're not completely hard, but they're a lot harder than they were. Okay. All right. So now we need to bring in the ground pattern. Oh fuck! Darn it. Probably actually want to. What is the pixel density on this thing? That's the problem.
It's not very high on the original image.
All right, well, screw it.
Yeah, what I did was I just sort of vastly increased the size, and I drew my own coastlines by hand. So that's why it looks different.
Yeah.
You
silly man.
Well, I tend not to use the pen tool just by habit. I use like lasso. So that's what I did with the coastlines. I just lasso drew them and filled everything in black, and did the masking and altering the coastlines after the fact. But that's how I got my my resolution for that map up. Because it's not a very large map.
Right. Page size.
And for anybody watching now or in the future, like talking about vector graphics, a vector is just a math. It's like a visual representation of a mathematical formula. So when you increase and decrease the size, you can do so to whatever scale you want, and it will always remain crisp because you're just altering the multiplication of that mathematical formula. See, Nick, I know what vectors are.
Yay. There we go. I just doubled the pixel density without having to start a new fucking document. Thank you. And let's do this. Let's get it in. Let's get some walls.
Let's get it on!
Frack off. Now let's give this a name. We'll call this outline.
It'll be the longest MAPPA ever.
It'll be the longest MAPPA ever. Golly. See, I need to stay here so we can motivate Nick to doing this brand new iteration and vision of this map that was probably never intended.
Most definitely, probably not intended. I'm gonna do like a underground lake on this side over here. All right. Let's bring in. Let's bring in some walls. Why not? Let's bring in some walls.
To the window, to the wall.
And we're gonna do. We're gonna do 20. Let's do 15 off those walls. And stroke that. I said stroke.
Yeah.
Stroke it.
Yeah. What?
There it is. There's that
bad boy. Left to right. Left to right.
Stroke. Walls go on top of the black layer, negative space layer. Negative.
Walls on top. Floor below. Stroke.
Actually, we're going to call this dirt because I'm going to do a multi-layered floor. We're going to put that into a group. And all right, yeah. So I think, ooh, you know what? We're going to have a lot. Oh, man, this is going to be good. We're going to have a little underground river that's going to come in up here, and it's going to go through the wall, and it's going to be a waterfall into this lower area, and that's going to come down and enter into the lake.
Nice.
Got it.
Noise.
You know what? There's gotta see now. We gotta do something, and then like do some bullshit where like you can get from my map to Brian's map through Nick's map.
Yeah,
you know what?
Dungeon within my map or something.
Yeah, I know, right?
I might do like a crevasse here instead of this little opening.
Yeah.
Make it so that that's got. Oh man, yeah, this is gonna be. I'm gonna battle on this sumbitch when I'm done. We're gonna rock it.
There you go.
Yeah, we're gonna do underground water all up in this piece right up in here, and we're gonna get a little bit of something and do a little something there.
Make sure you get wet.
Put like some tents and shit up in here and stuff, you know. All right. The only problem is I got that stupid border, but I'll clean that up later. All right. So now that I got that, I'll need to do a square brush so that I can get the edges. Get them wall edges. You know what? I actually made this new brush that I like to use for my cave walls now. So let me see if I can.
Look at you making brushes now. Oh shit.
Oh yeah, I've been making brushes for a long time, sucker. You know what? Nah, we're gonna go with the old cave wall brush because I think it'll do better in this situation. Damn it, I need to clean these out. I did some experimenting with some different brushes. Now I end up with like all this crud up in here. I don't like it no more.
That happens. Like I have a habit of collecting brushes, but I never really use them because I always make my own brushes. Like I make brushes and just dispose of them. Like I don't save the brushes I make. So a lot of times it doesn't necessarily look like I made a brush because like I make it for one file, use it once, and then it's gone forever.
Alright, let's get some shape dynamic. Size jitter, angle jitter all the way up, roundness jitter all the way up, and that'll actually do. And then we gotta select that, drop in a new.
Bird Nick, whatever happened to your videos on your channel?
And my free trial of Premiere ran out, and I was like, I'm done.
All right. All right. That's a reason.
It was so much to do, and at the time I had a really shitty mic, so my sound wasn't very good, and it just was a lot to do. It's a lot of production, and I can't,
Yeah, making videos ain't no joke.
Yeah, there's just a lot of production to it. It's can be quite obnoxious. All right, so there we go. All right, so we ended up with some shit here. So what I'm gonna do, I'm actually come in here and separate these out because I don't want them touching. I want the masses to see that I ain't no joke.
Yeah.
I just get up in here and separate those out
Like
a little bit.
That last speed paint sort of speed drawing thing I did.
Mm-hmm.
When I was like doing my version of Scotty's fucking Hell Toad,
Mm-hmm.
to render that, like, because I have to, like, the program I have doesn't just speed it up as fast as you want it to go.
Uh-huh.
So I've got to like speed it up 4 times, render it, wait a few hours while it renders, and like not be able to use my computer, and then speed that up 4 times, and then render it, and go through the process a second time.
What program are you using?
Vegas, which is actually a pretty damn good program.
Vegas is my favorite. Why can't it go to 16 times?
It just doesn't.
Yeah. Jesus, man. Probably nothing does then, because that's like the industry fucking standard.
I mean, well, there is After Effects. I've never used After Effects, but it's an Adobe product. And I'm kind of an Adobe fan, if you couldn't tell.
Premiere is Adobe's like main that's the competitor to Vegas as far as I know. I think isn't After Effects a special effects program?
Yeah, but you can use it for editing as well.
Yeah.
I heard today that Photoshop can edit videos, which I thought was ridiculous, but apparently might be true.
It can do animation as well.
Yeah, I'd have well, I wouldn't say no, but very little of an idea about how to do animation with Photoshop. So can't really help anyone for that. I wish I did, though. It'd be nice to just do some animated avatars, like for my Saturday morning stuff.
That would be so cool, dude.
Because way back in the day, right, in the early '90s, I worked at a place that did 2D animation, so I know the concepts. But that was back in the early '90s. So
you know what? I am gonna actually do that. I'm gonna come right in here. I'm gonna turn this into a chasm instead of a straight up. I'm in here like this. Just. Did I do pretty good?
Dude, like, you got spit all over my screen.
I'm not very good at the beatbox.
Yeah, me neither.
Oh, you know what? No, I'm not going to do that. What am I doing? What am I thinking? I'm going to go in like this, and then I'm going to fade that out as we go in nice and deep. Like.
We got to sing. We got to go somewhere.
You know, I need my tablet. A tablet. Drawing with a mouse is stupid when you have a Wacom tablet sitting right next to you. All right, there we go.
Yo,
That's...
I want to like challenge Barker to a duel for his tablet.
Oh, does he have like a really good one, or?
That motherfucker's got. I don't know if he's got the touch or not, but he's got one of those huge Cintiqs, and I'm so jealous.
Oh wow, he does.
Yeah.
Holy
Is it one of the ones that like has a screen on it, or?
Yeah, that's a Cintiq, the one with the screen on it.
Jesus, man.
But you have one too, Nelson, do you not?
Yeah, but I've got the 12-inch one. I've got the budget version.
I don't have that.
You've got the screen on yours too?
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, because this is difficult. Like, I'm not very good at this. I think I'd be a lot better if I had a screen, you know?
Yeah, I never really got, because I had the Bamboo to start off with, and while it was a boon, it was still hard for me personally to get used to that, like, you know, drawing down but looking up.
Yep. That's my. It's tough.
Yeah, I live by my art. I can't live without it. So that's why, you know, I had to get this.
Live by the ground.
You're a sucker. Shut up. Don't be judging me.
All right, let's bring some water in. Let's bring it in down here, though. Let me see. Let me get a nice, nice grungy brush. Start bringing that water in. Start bringing that water in. Where's my damn grunge brush? Gosh darn it! I gotta clean this up. Give me my grunge brush. There you are. Why are you 2,900 pixels large? Darn it. Back it down. We can go to opacity 10%.
Back it up.
10%.
Somewhere out there.
And bring in some water.
What's up, Trenton? Lord, I do gotta push this back. 4 o'clock was way too early.
Yeah,
I do
man.
have to finish preparing for like my Star Wars game that I'm gonna run, but
Look at Nick in his dungeon.
Yeah, just gonna bring some. Just gonna bring the water in right up to here. I think. Gonna have to change its color. It's way too bright.
it could be like luminous water, man.
Nah, we're gonna go like a nice dark green, and we're gonna pull back the opacity considerably, and let's put some nice something or another. Why am I so high on the opacity?
It sounded great.
All right, yeah, and then I'm just gonna pin in some flow here, and I'll have to work on the edges of that to make it look like it's actually drawn in a little bit of a. And we're gonna have this come all the way up to here.
Oh, cool.
And we'll do a little work on the edges there and pin that all in once we're done. Looks like shit right now, but all right. Yeah. Now let's change that color. Let's go hue saturation, and then we're going to.
Damn it! Don't I have any smaller? My wrist is starting to die on me.
What? mouse. All right, now let's get in there and change that color. Let's see what we can get. Drop that saturation off. Let's go with like a greenish. There we go. Yucky.
What to do? What to do? Yep. Yeah, something like this. I think will be all right.
What you got?
He's done. He just came up in here and under an hour was like, I got a map.
Yeah, very cool.
Oh, that sounded so personal, man.
Oh no, I'm just
Yeah, very cool.
fucking A, man. Yeah, very cool.
Cheers, dude.
Let's up the saturation a little bit.
I'll have to do a lot more detail than that.
Alright, we gotta bring that dirt. We gotta get that dirt. Nah, man, this ain't supposed to be in the ground layer. Shit, get up out of here. This is supposed to be in its own group. And then we're gonna actually go ahead and just pop that up there like that.
I like the way you do it right there. Look at your hips, they're walking lit on your hair.
And we're gonna disable this. And that's gonna get us some nice yucky ass looking water there. Alright. I'll have to put some current. I'll have to put some current lines in there too. You know, I might not. Fuck, I might not do this. I might go up. Let's see. Really blow that out. Yeah. There we go. Really blow those current lines out. So it looks like.
The water is all icky now.
I know.
I got to swim through sewage. That's what it is.
It's not the greatest. No, it's not the greatest water to be in. All right, now, but we need some stone in that ground too, because it ain't gonna look good just sitting by itself. So let's drop another pattern in there and get some rock mixed up in that mix.
Yeah, so just a big large carpet into it.
I'm gonna go down to 74. That's good. All right, and then we'll come up like that, and we're gonna come up in here like this, and we're just gonna paint some of that in, so we can get a little bit of that, just a little bit of variation throughout the pattern on the ground. We'll go in heavy up here. Yeah, that's nice. Okay.
Did you just make that brush, Nick? Yeah.
This one, no, I've been using. This is my grunge brush I made a long time ago. I've been using it for years now.
Oh,
It's I'll show you what it looks like. You can't really see it like that. Let me put it on something you can see. Get rid of this and drop it down on. There.
Ah, yes. That's a good brush. Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Got a lot of good textures out of those ones.
Yeah, I get a lot of use out of this damn thing, man. I'll be honest. It's like my go-to There's kind of, want some variation in this ground, so I'll just bring the stony stuff up a little bit from place to place and get some nice variation in here and just kind of, I'm like a finger painter, guys. Just like a really advanced finger painter. Just like, blah, 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 blah. Mm-hmm. Of course, we want to. So, where do you turn these things in at?
His website.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks like Nick's gonna have this done tonight.
Be done in like an hour, probably.
And the winner is Nick.
Nah, man, I'm not gonna win the damn thing. I'm not gonna put enough work into it to win it. I just want to see. I just want to show people what I do. Oh crap! I got a phone call coming in.
People been like, "What? He's made a dungeon out of this."
Most innovative use of the map provided. This son of a gun.
I'm making a cartoony map.
I thought that's what I was doing, but
Yeah, I think mine's really abstract, cartoony compared to yours.
yeah. It's kind of mappy. You've got like your giant Westerosian figure, which is like, dude, in Game of Thrones, they always have like every area has some sort of massive statue.
Yeah. Like the Iron Islands, they have that massive statue.
In all the everything, they have a massive statue. Like everywhere, a massive knight, two giant massive horses, everywhere, man.
Yeah.
And it's like, who in the hell built all that? Are they built on an older civilization? I don't know. Makes me think about it, though.
Interesting questions.
We go hard. We go hard. Oh, this is like, I can't force myself to stop right now. But I'm starting to feel that soreness in my wrist.
Yeah,
He just got that feeling
Yeah.
right inside his wrist.
I got to 50% here. There we go. That's better. All right, so we got a little bit of stone. Now we need we need heavier stone. So we're gonna bring in another layer, and we're gonna do some actual proper stone, but we're gonna bring it on down to 50, and we're gonna bring that in nice and easy again. Let's bring it in over here near the edges here.
We go hard.
Nah, we need to bring it in at the edges here and nice small brush. Just some happy little edges. Just some happy little edges. And here we are. Let's bring it in nice and long in here. There it is. Let's bring that in. Yeah, just nice, easy edges. Happy little stone. Playing with the dirt. Just playing right with the dirt. Being playful. Being happy with the dirt.
See, now this nigga Nick is getting his Bob Ross on too.
Baby, didn't you see the way I named my my series? The joy of battle mapping? This has always been about Bob.
Trying to get my Bob Ross on earlier. Brian was just like, "You sound creepy."
Well, you got to do Bob Ross right, man. You know, I know that you got the fro and all, but you gotta, you know.
I got a head start. What you talking about, man? I'm in tune.
Yeah, you are. It's true. All right, let me see here now. Let's just get this nice and easy. We're gonna come in here. We're gonna do some hard rock up in this piece, and on top of that rock, I'm gonna actually bring it back a little bit here in a second.
Bring it back. Bring it back. My shoulder hurts. Shit.
Let's see where we're at now. Yeah, it's all right. Let's go ahead and make that rock a little bit bigger. You know, bring it up to. There we go. Yeah, that's better. That's what I'm talking about. Rocks should be big.
Let's make that rock.
Rocks.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bring the whole opacity down a little bit. Just the rocks just peek out. They just peek out from the dirt. It isn't their show. It isn't their show. They're just there to lend a hand to the dirt. They're just there to lend a hand. All right, let's get up in here and add a little bit more of that. Lending a hand. Just lending a hand. Yeah, man, I love that man. He was such a fucking fun guy.
I know.
I'm just gonna get right in here. We're just gonna lend a hand from the
Yo,
friendly rock.
You see, they got him on Netflix now, right?
They do.
Yep.
I did not see that. Oh my goodness, isn't that great? Let me just come in here, just a little more friendly rock up in this area here. Just lending a hand. Yeah. Nice and easy. Just nice and easy. All right, we got some pretty good colors there. Some pretty good mix. Get over here and just have that rock just lend a little bit more of a hand. But then, you know, people live here, man. People have lived here, and they need to be represented. So we're gonna have to bring in some stones that maybe they felt like the dirt was just a little too grimy, and maybe they just wanted to have a little bit of a place to walk that was nice. So we're gonna bring that in for them now. We're gonna bring that in for them now. Here we go. Let's do it.
Nick is in tune.
Man, I do this when I'm not on camera too, guys. Just by the way. Not really. Okay, so here we go. Now we got some nice.
I don't disbelieve you, Nick. You know, it's like, yeah. That's
All right, and now we're just gonna, you know, these people, they just need, you know, yeah, obviously this is a rather large little tribal area here, so they like to put in some stones, you know, they like to have a few stones.
the proper
They
way.
do. They like to have some stones on their path, you know. They just
They do. They really do.
they're not savages, so they just need some nice little stones on their path there. You know, they like to go to the river. They like to go to the river, so they, you know.
They do. They absolutely do.
Yeah, they do. So let's just bring these nice stones up to the river for them, and yeah, we'll feather that out a little bit, because you know, dirt comes in and comes up over the stone. You know, it's dirt covers all in the end. Question is, what scale is this on? So let's see here. Actually, it's not that big of a room. So these are, for each inch is 5 feet in a battle map of my design. So this is actually a tiny little crevice in here. So I might want to no, I can't though. I'm gonna make a little hoppy hop, a little 5-foot hop there. No big deal. Adventurers can do that unless they roll a 1, they fall into their death. Get rid of this little guy here. Let's go ahead and just turn these. Let's turn these little guys off. Get back to work now. Get back to work. Little goblins, they better be working. Little goblins need to be working hard in order to pay their rent. Evil overlord. Alright. Alright, here we go. Yeah, they like to They like to have a few little bricks that come on down this way too, you know. They gotta. Well, let's make that just a little bit bigger now. We need to get a little more serious about the stones. They need to have a place for their stones to go. Two, you can't just have stones without no place to go to. Whoa, got a little too crazy with that there. Alright, here we go. Let's just a little bit of a cave in here, you know, you gotta have a. Yeah, that's good. They like to go right up to that river there. They like to go right up to the lake. Maybe we'll put a little dock down here. We need to have a little dock down here where they can get on their boats. So let's bring that in now. Let's bring a little bit of a dock in down here so they can get on their boats and go on their way. Maybe I should just put a boat in down here. Maybe that would be all right. Do they need a dock? If they need a dock, then I need to bring the water all the way up to here. So yeah, let's bring the water all the way up. That'd be fun, wouldn't it?
Yeah, why not?
Let's bring that water way up here. We're gonna have that water come right up here like this, and we're just gonna have some fun with it. We're just gonna have some fun. This water's gonna come right up in here, just like that. Yeah. And we're gonna put in a dock there. Yeah. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do.
When you started whispering, that is creepy as hell.
Sorry, guys.
You sound like you're planning and scheming something just.
Yeah, he just wants to give the players a real nightmare.
All right, so that's fun. You know, we got to have a little bit of a dock in here. You know, this is good. So this has got to turn into a stream then, because obviously we can't have all this mess. You know, it's gonna need. I need to do some elevation here, some elevation here, which means that this needs to be at a downward grade here. And this, man, I want this to be wider. But if I do that, then I'll break free of the main lines, and the whole point of this is not to break free of the main lines. So, but we are, you know what we are going to do? We're gonna bring the scale back on this just a little bit. This is a little too crazy here. There we go. There we go. Now we got some water to make some sense. All right, so let's go ahead and put some wood in here too. Let's bring some wood in.
The primitive side. What?
Let's bring that wood in. Let's bring that wood in. Let's do this wood here. Let's do this wood here. Yeah, that's nice wood. And we're gonna bring this down to about. Let's go down to about 60. 63% is fine, and we'll go like this. Oops. Hell. No. And we're gonna use the pen. We're just gonna bring in a nice, happy little dock right down here, where this little. Let's go like this. Let's go like this, and we'll go across like this. And we want to go a little bit further than that. Not like this. Come in. Nice and straight. So like this. Do a nice dock. Goes nice out here into the water a little ways here. Just gonna bring it back and just get a nice little shape there. I'm gonna fix the shape up a little bit because it's shitty.
T for terror.
There we go. That looks pretty good. I should drop that out a little bit here and drop this one up here too. All right. Yeah, that looks pretty good. All right. So first off, I'm gonna have to rasterize this shit. Let me get that rasterization on. All right, now we're going to call this the dock, and we're going to hit this layer with. Whoa! What did I do? What did I do? What?
I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know.
No. Whoa! That's crazy. Or effect just happened there. That's pretty wild. I don't know what I did, but there we go. Okay.
Let's do.
All right. Let's fill that. It should. Oh, fuck balls. There we go. Now, see, you know, good old Ross, he wouldn't say something like fuck balls, but, you know, that's the difference between he and I.
Well, I'm done. Like my hand hurts too much.
All right, man. Well, it's nice knowing you. Where on earth and why? Oh, it's because I put it up in the water. Okay, we don't want that. And then we got to go like this, and we're going to go whoop. Whoop, 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 whoop. Translate, and let's straighten that out. Let's actually come along like this.
You should make my farts look really colorful and funky.
Oh, jeez.
Let's go like that.
You not like a colorful, funky forest?
That's a funky forest.
Yep, funky forest.
You need like old 70s actual like P-Funk,
Well,
Right.
whatever.
Parliament Funkadelic track.
Mm.
P-Funk got the funk. You need to play that track whenever you introduce that to anybody. P-Funk got the funk. Boy.
Yes, bridge. What this needs over here is a bridge
Excuse me.
with a troll underneath it.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it does. It needs that. Those things you just said. Let's drop a little shadow on here, and we'll be like, shee-boop-ba-doop.
I'll even put in the wee eyes underneath it.
Cancel.
Damn it. You missed that picture, you sucker.
Son of a gun. Damn it. That's this fucking bullshit. We're gonna get white, get black. Damn it. I gotta go back through and do all those over again, darn it.
You put those on the same layer, didn't you?
No. Well, no, I had the same layer mask.
What you are all doing is against the rules. You have to start again.
Darn it. Alright, now we're gonna drop the doop doop doop.
We already have to draw maps. I didn't think you had to be that creative.
There we go. A little bit of that. No, we don't want no distance. We do want to like just emphasize that a little bit more so that they're there like that. And then we want to do this. We're gonna bevel that shit.
Emphasize it a bit more, Nick.
We did. We emphasized it. But we are going to have to move the whole damn thing around a little bit. So there we go. That looks pretty good. But we're going to texture that. And we're going to use
a different wooden texture. Like instead of a wooden plank, like a tree, like a cut up tree trunk texture.
I mean, I could, yeah. But we're gonna unhook those. I'm just gonna move this over a little bit. You can't really tell. We can do this. Watch. Whoa! What the hell? What the hell? I didn't want to do that. Cancel. Grab this piece here. I'm gonna transform that. Just in here and oh, give me some turnage.
Give you some what?
Some turnage.
Oh, look at that nice little port.
There we go. Yeah, this is good right there. And we'll deselect. Yeah, see, it doesn't. To me, it's not that big of a deal because once I get the.
Well, what's not a big deal? What are you trying to do?
He was suggesting that I use a separate texture for the piers because they look a little less than awesome the way they are. But
It's just me and my OCD.
and we're gonna do direction on this one. But we're gonna do the direction off in this direction here. There it is.
I gotta get little troll eyes underneath this bridge too.
There's the
Still
pier,
got Nelson.
and then
You know what? You're gonna have to fight two thuds now.
Uh-oh.
Thud is gonna like do his split into two thuds jutsu next time. That would be ridiculous and amazing.
Yeah, this is Thud's brother.
That's Thud's brother Dud. It's Thud and Dud.
Thud and Dud.
Not dead Dud.
there it is. And do I have? No, it doesn't. Frack.
Well, gentlemen, this has been probably the longest Mappa, but I am I can't continue
Ah,
because my wrist feels like it's gonna fall off my hand, and I'm hungry. And what you do when you're hungry is you leave to go eat, and that's what I'm gonna do.
See ya. Brian
So-
and I will. We'll keep the channel running. It's cool.
I'm gonna end the broadcast is what I'm gonna do.
All right, man.
Probably
That's
what is it,
cool.
like 4 hours now? Almost 3 hours.
3 hours, I think.
3. Yeah. That's about right. 3 hours.
Sounds like fun to me, man.
All right. So bye.
I'm winning. I'm gonna win.